What if everything you thought you knew about General Hospital was a lie? Shocking betrayals, deadly secrets, unexpected returns, and explosive twists are about to shake Port Charles. Stay tuned for the latest GH spoilers, theories, and unforgettable drama. As someone who has seen every twist and turn with these characters, I never expected to feel my heart break quite like this when little Rocco stood there in that chaotic station, watching Britt Westbourne being led away in handcuffs. The air was thick with tension, the kind that makes you lean closer to the screen even though you know these are actors playing their parts. Rocco, that sweet boy who has already been through so much in his young life, did not look relieved at all. Instead, he burst into tears and started shouting at his own father, accusing Dante of betraying the trust they had built together. It was raw, it was real, and it hit me straight in the chest because I have watched Rocco grow up on this show, always hoping he would find some stability. What really struck me was how bravely Rocco spoke up about the truth from Tortola. He told everyone within earshot that Britt had not kidnapped him, but had actually risked her own life to shield him from the WSB agents and their guns. That detail changes everything we thought we knew about the situation. For weeks, the media had painted Britt as the villain, the dangerous woman who snatched a child. But here was this boy, trembling yet determined, setting the record straight. I have always had a soft spot for Britt, even during her more complicated days, because she has shown time and again that she can surprise us with her capacity for good. This moment felt like validation for those of us who believed there was more to her story than the headlines suggested. Dante, standing there in his uniform, looked absolutely stunned. You could see the doubt creeping into his eyes about that arrest order coming down from Cullum. As a longtime viewer, I found myself nodding along, thinking, finally, someone is questioning the official line. That father-son confrontation right there in the station hallway created a rift that I believe will echo through many episodes to come. Rocco, with all the fire of youth mixed with the pain of betrayal, swore he would not return home unless Britt was released immediately. It was a powerful declaration from such a young character, and it made me wonder how Dante is going to sleep at night knowing his son sees him as the enemy right now. I have raised my own family through the years, and moments like this remind me how fragile trust can be, even between parents and children. In the world of General Hospital, where loyalties shift like the tides in Port Charles, this feels like one of those turning points that could reshape relationships for years. I personally think Dante is a good man at heart. He has proven it in the past with his dedication to justice, but right now he seems caught between his duty and the clear evidence his son is presenting. Is the system failing Britt here, or is there something bigger at play behind Cullum's orders? I suspect the latter, and I am already counting the days until we get more answers. What fascinates me most is how this incident is already rippling out to affect other connections, particularly with Lulu. Rocco's strong stance means he is refusing to fully embrace the family unit that Lulu and Dante represent right now. That rejection is creating a new layer of obsession for one of them, perhaps Lulu, who has fought so hard to rebuild her life, or maybe even Dante, who must now balance his badge with his role as a father. I have seen similar family fractures on the show before, like when Sonny's children turned against him during dark periods, and those storylines always delivered emotional gold. This one feels fresh because it centers on Rocco's perspective, a child who has witnessed real danger and is now demanding accountability. My own view is that children in Port Charles often carry more wisdom than the adults give them credit for. Rocco is not just acting out. He is speaking from lived experience. That makes his pain all the more compelling to watch unfold. As I reflect on these scenes, I keep asking myself whether Britt's heroism in Tortola will finally be acknowledged by the authorities. The evidence Rocco provided was so heartfelt and specific that it is hard to dismiss. Will Dante start his own quiet investigation, perhaps digging into the WSB's involvement and why they targeted a boy like Rocco in the first place? Those questions keep me coming back episode after episode, because General Hospital excels at turning personal crises into larger mysteries. I remember when Britt first arrived in town, full of fire and secrets, and now seeing her potentially redeemed through a child's eyes feels poetic. It is the kind of character evolution that rewards longtime fans like me who have stuck with the show through cast changes and writing shifts. Some viewers might disagree with me and say Britt's past mistakes should not be overlooked, and that is fair. But I argue that true growth happens when someone steps up in a crisis. Her actions protecting Rocco prove she has changed, and I, for one, am rooting for her freedom soon. The emotional weight of that station scene also highlights how masterfully the show balances action with family drama. One minute we have high-stakes chases and international intrigue. The next we have a boy crying out for justice in his father's workplace. It never fails to pull at my heartstrings. I have chatted with fellow fans my age who feel the same way we grew up with these characters and now watch their children navigate similar storms. Rocco's outburst has me pondering the long-term effects on his relationship with Dante. Will this be the wake-up call Dante needs to prioritize family over protocol, or will pride keep them apart longer? I lean toward hope, because redemption stories are what keep General Hospital thriving after all these decades. And let us not forget Lulu in all this. How will she respond to her son's refusal to come home? The tension there is already building, promising some intense conversations and perhaps unexpected alliances in the coming weeks. Another aspect that stands out to me is the way the writers are using this to explore themes of truth versus perception. The public narrative about Britt's kidnapping was so strong, yet one child's testimony is cracking it open. In my opinion, that mirrors real life beautifully. Sometimes the loudest voices in the media get it wrong, and it takes personal courage to set things right. I admire Rocco for that courage, even if it hurts to see him so distraught. It makes me excited for future episodes where more witnesses from Tortola might surface, adding layers to the defense. Will Jason or someone from Britt's past step in with crucial information? The possibilities feel endless, and that is exactly why I remain passionately devoted to this soap. Every twist invites us to reconsider what we thought we knew. Looking ahead, I sense that this rift between Dante and Rocco is only the beginning of a larger storm. Perhaps it will force Dante to confront old colleagues or question orders that once seemed straightforward. My personal theory, and I could be completely wrong, but that is the fun of watching, is that Cullum's involvement hides a deeper conspiracy tied to the WSB's operations in Port Charles. If that proves true, it could bring back familiar faces and create alliances we never saw coming. Britt sitting in a cell while the truth simmers outside is dramatic perfection. I keep imagining the moment when she is finally cleared and Rocco rushes to hug her. That scene alone would be worth the wait. For now, though, the uncertainty keeps the story sizzling, and I am here for every minute of it. As someone who has cheered for these characters through births, deaths, weddings, and betrayals, I truly believe this storyline is breathing new life into the show. It reminds us that family is not always neat or easy, especially in a town like Port Charles where danger lurks around every corner. Rocco's pain is teaching all of us viewers about the importance of listening to the youngest voices. Dante will have to earn back that trust, and I have faith he can do it because we have seen his strength before. Meanwhile, Britt's quiet heroism deserves the spotlight. I cannot wait to see how the writers resolve the immediate crisis while planting seeds for even bigger revelations. Will Lulu and Dante's relationship survive this test, or will Rocco's stance create permanent distance? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The heat is on, and the next chapters are going to be unforgettable. What shocks me most is this crazy new change in Rocco. He is no longer just refusing to go home or speaking out against Dante. Whispers from the latest episodes suggest he is prepared to take shadowy actions that could cross serious lines, perhaps reaching out to questionable contacts, sneaking around the station for evidence, or even considering risky moves that might involve bending the law himself. I have watched enough storylines over 60 years of faithful viewing to recognize when a young character is teetering on the edge of moral gray areas, and Rocco's fierce resolve feels like the beginning of a truly wild shift. It humanizes him in a heartbreaking way. He is not a helpless child anymore. He is a boy willing to embrace darkness to repay the woman who shielded him from bullets. My personal opinion is that this development adds incredible depth. While some might argue it is too soon for Rocco to head down a troubled path, I believe it perfectly reflects how trauma and gratitude can push even the purest hearts toward desperate choices. This new explosion in the plot has me asking urgent questions that the show seems poised to answer quickly. Will Rocco's dark actions draw him into conflict with his father in ways that permanently damage their bond? Or will his risky maneuvers actually uncover the truth about the WSB's orders and Cullum's role, forcing Dante to finally see Britt's innocence? I lean toward the latter, because General Hospital has always excelled at redemption through fire. Britt, sitting in that cell, probably has no idea how far Rocco is willing to go, and that protective love creates such beautiful, tense drama. It reminds me of past storylines where children fought for their chosen family against all odds, but this one feels more dangerous and immediate.